Hey, hello guys, how you doing today? My name is Stephen Akintayo. I'm Africa's most sought after investment coach. I'm a serial entrepreneur and welcome to another episode of my Facebook Live. But this is a special event. It's a 3-day series on how to become a self-made millionaire, okay, with real estate, okay, how to become a self-made millionaire with real estate investment. It's going to be for 3 days. Today's first day, then we'll have on Tuesday, then we'll have on Wednesday. It's going to be 5 p.m. daily, Nigerian time. So you can calculate it in your country, UK time, US time, and all over the world that you are. As you're joining me, I'd like you to tell me your city and where you're joining from. I also like you to share this video with your friends and your loved ones. Let's invite as many people as possible. For me, I want to see people becoming financially free. 2020 is not going to be a year that will be very successful for you if you don't take intentional decision. Success is not by accident. Success is a function of intentional decision. You have to be intentional about success. If you ask me, Stephen Akintayo, what did you do to get here? I will tell you, I know every single thing I did. Okay? It wasn't by mistake, it wasn't by fluke. If you become rich by mistake, you will lose the money by mistake. Lasting success is intentional, is a function of critical decisions people took and they knew what they did. So, welcome once again, everybody. I have 4 powerful principles I'm going to be sharing today on how to become a self-made millionaire with real estate investment. Let me say this, that of all the various types of investment in the world, real estate is the most reliable, is the surest one, and is the best one. And that's why they call it real estate. It's the only real investment. When you buy shares, you can lose everything. I mean, there was a single day that the shares of Facebook, okay, lost over $5 billion, far more than that. In one day, one single day, it lost all of that. So, and that's one thing with shares. If you say, what other investment? Tell me, you do Forex. That one, you can lose everything about Forex in a jiffy. Right? But if you buy a land, as long as you buy it credibly from the right set of people, the land is there. Even if so-called there's recession or one thing or the other, you can later go back. You have your land, you can hold on it. Later you can go back to your land. At some point the land is still available for you. And that's the beauty about real estate investment. Okay, so again, welcome everybody. Like I said, tell me the city you're joining me from and share this video as many times as possible. Share, just keep hitting the share button. Invite as many people as you can to be part of this amazing broadcast. Yes, I can see Pastor Daniel Omewa, good to see you. Oluwaseyi Ajayi, thank you. Christine Ikena, Titi Lola, thank you for joining. Adeleke Adeyemi, you're all welcome. I'll say thank you for watching. Good to see you. Sami Praise from Tel Aviv, Israel. How are you? God bless you and good to see you all here. Thank you for joining. Number 1, okay, way to become a self-made millionaire through real estate. And remember, this is a 3-day series, and I'll be giving you an assignment once I finish each of these broadcasts. So be ready for my assignments. Number 1, have a real estate $1 million goal. Have a $1 million real estate goal. That's the first thing you want to do. Everyone who is a self-made millionaire in real estate had a $1 million real estate goal. In other words, they look at themselves and they say, you know what, I want to own this volume of property. I want to do this volume of transaction in real estate. How many of you have read the book on real estate by Donald Trump? Type 1. If you've not read that book, type 2. Donald Trump, the current president of America, is a leading realtor, right? People argue over how much he has, but he's a billionaire in dollars. What, you know, and a billionaire is a billionaire, right? Now, how many of you have read his book on real estate, type 1? If you've not read his book, type 2. Okay, for those of you who have read it, you remember how he shared about how his father started the real estate business. And when he graduated, he had to work with his father for a while. But he had his own personal dream. He realized that his father was used to buying properties in the suburb, like Queens. His father focused more on buying properties in the suburb. But he felt like we can do property business in Times Square. We can do property business in Manhattan, in the center of New York. Okay, and that was his own vision. That was his own goal. In fact, he remember having to go and rent an apartment in Manhattan when he was starting this whole journey. He had a goal. He had a vision. He knew what he wanted. Many of us, the reason why we have not bought property is because we don't even have a goal. We don't even have a property vision. If I tell you now what really is your goal when it comes to property, some of you will tell me, Mr. Stevie, you know what? All I just really want is to have my own house. Can I tell you that is a foolish goal? Do you know that your house is not an asset, it's a liability? Do you know that? If you build a house today and you live in that house, you know it's not an asset, it's a liability. When it comes to financial intelligence, it's different from economics that they taught you in school. The economics they taught you in school, have you wondered why your lecturer, your professor taught you economics, but yet that professor is poor? How many of you noticed that? That your lecturer, your professor that taught you about economics or accountancy, or what are the courses that focus on money, like, you know, finance and all of that, banking and finance. Do you notice that professor, your professor, is poor? If you notice that, type 1. So if indeed what he's saying is absolutely correct in helping you to build wealth, why is your professor still poor? Something is wrong. Your economists will tell you that an asset, a car is an asset. They will tell you the house that you buy is an asset. But let me tell you the new definition of asset today, and you should write it down. Right now, write it down. An asset is what brings money to you. A liability is what takes money away from you. So your car can be a liability. If you do not use it for Uber, it's a liability. Of course, if you use your car for Uber, it means your car is bringing in money. Hey, let's clap for Abuja. We have Abuja here. Good to see you. Tell us the city of the world you are in. Let's welcome you. So if you are able, and this is very, very powerful, to create a system around turning your car to a source of income, then your car is an asset. The same thing, if you build a house, as long as you live in that house and you don't have tenants in that house is a liability, because at least once in 2 years you need to paint it. There's a time the window net will get spoiled, you need to repair it, some carpentry work, some electrical work. The house is collecting money from you, it's not giving you money. Except when you build a house, you live in a portion of that house and you rent out a portion of that house so that you can make money. Is this making sense at all? If it's making sense, can you type it makes sense? For those of you just joining us, my name is Stephen Akintayo. I'm Africa's most sought after investment coach. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and I'm sharing with every one of you today a powerful 3-day series. It's going to be life-changing, guys. You don't want to miss it for anything. And I'm sharing how to become a self-made millionaire with real estate. Okay, today is the part 1. Tomorrow we'll do part 2. Next tomorrow we'll do part 3. I want you to follow me on this journey. Don't quit. Don't give up. The data you spend to watch this, or the time, trust me, what you will learn from this is going to change your life forever. But I need you to do me a favor. I want you to share this video 50 times. Copy this link. Okay, paste it on all your Facebook group, or your WhatsApp group, or your LinkedIn group. Also on your right hand side, you will see an icon there, Facebook party. Click on it. Invite all your friends. The only reason I'm taking my time from my business to teach you guys is because I want your life to be better, but not just 30 people. I want 1 million people to be financially free. That's why I do this. So each time I'm doing Facebook Live and there are few people watching, I'm not as happy as I should be, because I know that the vision is to teach as many people as possible. On a good day, I will charge for this, but because I'm putting it on a free platform, because I want more people to have access to it and have their life change. So share this video 50 times, starting by clicking on that Facebook party. Click on it and start inviting all your friends. Copy this link, paste it on all your Facebook group, or your WhatsApp group, or your LinkedIn group. Do that now. That's the least you can do. Okay, it won't cost you anything to do it. It proves that you're a good person by doing it. I know if you think what I'm doing is a good thing. Can you type good thing? Come on, reply. My coming out every day to teach you something, I don't know if you think it's a good thing. If you think it's a good thing, can you type it's a good thing? Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you for responding. I appreciate you. Now, if you think it's a good thing, don't you think that sharing this video is also a good thing? Because they say one good turn deserves another. When somebody has taken time to add value to you, don't you think you too should convince yourself and say, no, me too, I must do something about it. It's not just watching this man. I must share this video. I must involve as many people as possible. If that's the least I can do too, so that many people can learn from what this man is teaching. So please share this video right now. Okay, let me go on. So, number one, have a real estate, a property goal. How many houses do you want to have? Let me tell you my own goal, in case you don't know. I have a vision of having 200 estates by the year 2035. I've taught you some days ago that your vision must be smart, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. Okay? In other words, if you have a vision, it has to be smart vision. Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. Wow, Napoli is here, Italy. Can we celebrate Italy? We have people from Italy here. By the way, as you join us, tell us the city you're joining us from. I'd like to know your country, okay, so that we can celebrate you. Come on, everybody celebrate Italy here. Italy is here. Thank you for joining. So it's always important, ladies and gentlemen, to have a vision. So my vision is I want to have 200 estates by the year 2035. You tell me why. For me, I grew up knowing us moving from one house to the other because my parents were not rich, couldn't afford to pay rent, and the landlord kept increasing the rent every year. You know what I'm talking about. I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about. Where you rent a house, and every year, you know those kind of landlord, every year they keep increasing the rent. If you know that what I'm talking about, type 1. If you understand what I'm talking about, where you rent property. So I grew up that way. In fact, my academics was affected. I learned how to spell the word THE GSS1. We kept moving from one school to the other. Okay, and I got to realize that, look, if you want to break the backbone of poverty in your life, your vision has to be big. I know a lot of you watching me, right? Your vision is, your goal is not to do anything. You just want to be comfortable. I get it. But do you know that for you to be comfortable in this world, you have to be very, very rich? Do you know that? Do you know that you have to be very, very, very rich to be comfortable? So you see, people say, all I want is to be comfortable. I get you. That's my goal too. But for you to really be comfortable, you have to be very, very rich. I used to think, let me give you an example so that this can be very clear. Do you know that the reason why people fail is not because they have a big vision that was too ambitious? The reason why people fail is that they have a small vision and they achieve it, only to then realize that that vision was small. Let me repeat myself again. The reason why people fail in life, where you say, oh, they are not rich or they are not successful, by whatever definition, particularly when it comes to finances, is not because those people, and people miss this, it's not because those people didn't have a goal. My father's dream was to have a car and to have a house, and he achieved it. Unfortunately, he had 7 children, 2 died, making it 5. By the time the children were growing up, of course, his business had even collapsed. My mother was the only one trying to raise us up. The whole car, they struggle to maintain one. The house, impossible. You know why? The vision was small. They didn't know that for them to be able to raise 5 children, they needed to have a bigger vision. Is this making sense at all? If it makes sense, can you type "this makes sense"? Come on, talk to me. If this training makes sense, can you type "it makes sense"? So the reason why people fail, a lot of times you meet people in their 60s, they are struggling, and you're wondering that, sir, what happened to you? Why were you watching your life like this? Why didn't you do something great about your life? Listen to me so that you don't fall victim. It wasn't as if they didn't have a dream. It wasn't as if they didn't have a vision. It was just small, and they didn't know it was small. So the number one way to become financially free, to become a self-made millionaire, is to have a big real estate goal. A big real estate goal. Part of it should be commercial. I want to, in my lifetime, build 100 houses. I'm going to live in one, I'm going to rent 91 out. Isn't that good for a goal? And then you put a date. By the year 2040, I will have done it. By the year 2060, I will have done it. That's how you do it. And then I will start this December with one of it. That's how you do it. You start with a goal. For those of you just joining us, my name is Akintayo. I'm Africa's most sought after investment coach. I'm a serial entrepreneur. And I'm doing a 3-day series where we're teaching you on how to become a self-made millionaire through real estate. Number one, have a real estate goal. For all of you watching me, I'd like you to do me a favor, share this video 50 times. Yes, you heard me. Click on Facebook party and start inviting your friends. Ibo from Italy, good to see you. Thank you for joining. We have a lot of people from Italy today. What happened? I'm seeing a lot of people, particularly from Napoli. I'm seeing a lot of people. By the way, I'm going to be in Italy in 2020. I don't know if you're happy about that. If you're in Italy, I will be visiting Italy in 2020. It's a done deal. In fact, early, between February and March, I will be in Italy. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be awesome. We're going to have a great time when I visit Italy. Okay, so I'd like you to share this video 50 times. Click on that Facebook party and start inviting all your friends. Let them hear these life-changing words. Also copy this link and paste it on all your Facebook group, paste it on all your WhatsApp group, paste it on all your LinkedIn group. Invite people. There's too much rubbish on social media. Rubbish that is not changing anybody's life. Nonsense that is not changing anybody's life. And many of you would rather share that nonsense than share something that will change your life. I don't know if you agree that this training is changing your life even right now. Can you type "it's changing my life"? If you agree with me that this training, as I'm teaching you, is changing your life, can you type "it is changing my life"? So if it's indeed changing your life, can you invite as many people as possible and let's get there? Yes, I'm coming to London. I've just pasted it. I'll be in London. We'll have a training on Saturday, I think it should be 21st or 22nd. I think 22nd of December. I'll be in Liverpool also. On 28th is my mom's birthday. I'm going to be there by the grace of God. So there's so much we are going to rock London by the grace of God. So how many of you are ready for number 2? Number 2, type "I'm ready, I'm ready." So under becoming a self-made millionaire with real estate, number 1, you have to have a real estate vision that is big, that is audacious, that is massive. And don't be afraid to have a big real estate vision. Don't be afraid. Don't let people tell you that, hey, when will that ever come? Don't deceive yourself. Have a big, audacious real estate vision. They're not going to kill you because you have one. Okay? Have one. It won't cost you anything to have one. Have one. It's important to do so. Number 2, if you're ready for number 2, type "I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready." Welcome everybody, all of you who are joining us. I appreciate you for joining this video. My name is Akintayo. I'm Africa's most sought after investment coach. I'm a serial entrepreneur and I'm teaching on how to become a self-made millionaire with real estate. Okay? And I'd like you to share this video 50 times. Click on the right hand side, there's a Facebook party icon. Click on it and invite all your friends. Also copy this link, paste it on all your WhatsApp group, paste it on all your Facebook group. Invite as many people as possible. If you're ready for number 2, type "I'm ready." Number 2, act on the goal with confidence and run away from negative influence. Act on your property goal with confidence and run away with negative influence. A lot of people are tenants today and have not had any assets in real estate because of the friends they keep. They keep negative friends. There was a woman who I got to know through Facebook. We got close at some point, but there was a time I had to block her. Yes, and I have no apology for doing that. I blocked her almost everywhere. And one of the reasons was because I realized she became negative. I don't know whether it was a mental issue. I don't know. But she became so negative. She could call me today and say, you know, Mr. Stephen, you won't believe it. My friend's child just died. They poisoned him. I'll be like, what's going on? Another day she can call me and just said, my work colleague, my colleague just died now of cardiac arrest in the work. And almost every day like that, negative news or the other. At some point I said to her, I had to tell her, I said, look, I don't like negative news. I don't like bad news. I guard my heart. The Bible talks about, it says, guide your heart with all diligence because out of it proceed the issues of life. If you allow negative people who like to put fear in your heart dominate your life, you will never achieve anything great. You can quote me anywhere. Stephen Akintayo says so. If you allow negative talking friends dominate your life, you can never achieve anything great. And how many of you realize that those negative friends always act as if they are protecting you? If you notice that, can you type 1? The negative thinking friends, they always talk as if they are protecting you. They always talk as if they are after your interest. They always talk as if, you know, what the advice they are giving you is for your own sake. But they are toxic for your progress. They are toxic for you. They are the ones, the day you tell them, I want to build my house in Nigeria, say, yeah, hey, that's good, oh, but you know Jide, do you know Jide? Say, Jide? Jide that will go to the same church now. Omonile just collected his land. The man put in 100 million Nigeria. They took everything. Nigeria is tough. Before you know what happened, you won't do it. You know the painful thing with some of these your negative friends. Years later, the same friend will announce on social media that he just finished building his own house. I don't know if you have heard stories like this. Type 1. If you've heard stories like this, I know what I'm talking about. There's somebody who I know who did this same thing. He used to say it. He can never invest in Nigeria. At some point, he got convinced. He built a house of over 200 million in Nigeria. 200 millionaire. Put it on social media. The question is, how many people has he discouraged from investing? Okay? Who will now later see the guy with his 200 million house and be regretting that when they had money and could have invested, he was the one that discouraged them. Today now they use that money for something else. Maybe sometimes that something else they use the money for didn't necessarily germinate into any tangible thing, and they are regretting today. So make sure you act on your goals. Act on it. It's not just having a goal, it's about acting on the goal. It's about taking action on your goals. It's about, you have a dream, I want to have 100 houses. You start now. Where can I buy land in Lagos? It's expensive. Anywhere, buy. Anywhere, buy. That's how you start. Because this creates energy, this creates passion. You start anywhere. Start somewhere. That's the way life is. I always tell people, I say life is in phases, men and sizes, live your size part time. If you want to be successful, start anyhow. I tell people, I say, learn to jump. If you're going to fly, just jump. Okay? Jump from an helicopter. Jump from a plane. Figure out how to land along the way down. But if you want to perfect everything, say, you know, it's going to be this way, it's going to be this way, you will never do anything tangible. I remember a story, and listen to this story, it will change your life. My auntie, who was my mother's cousin and friend, they grew up together, you know, where her house is in a particular estate in Lagos. And she was a civil servant. My mother too was a civil servant. They all, in their days, being a civil servant is the ultimate of success. in their old days. So I remember one day I was in a house, and you know, the environment is developed. It looks almost as if it's rich people that live in that area. So I said, Auntie, how did you get this land? Because based on your career, with the way the environment look today, you are not supposed to be able to afford this kind of place. Salmo, if I tell you the history of this land, you won't believe me. I said, how did it happen? I said, first of all, I bought this land in the 80s. I say, eh? I say, yeah, I bought it in the 80s. So second of all, in those days, yes, she said the day of 500 naira, I would drop. The day of 1,000 naira, I would drop. She said, but in those days, 500 naira was a lot of money. 1,000 naira was a lot of money. But that she just made up her mind that, look, one day she will retire. And it's just better the early she begin to buy the land, the better. And as soon as she finished paying for the land, she started building the house. Today now, I think she has about 3 properties. In fact, what happened was this. She bought one in the outskirts. And it was the outskirts one she first built, and she lived in it. Later, while she completed that one, she now bought this other one. This one was more in the city center, but more expensive than that one. So she bought it. Once she finished paying, she was also able to build it. So as soon as she built this one that was more in the city center, she left the other one in the outskirts, rented it out, moved to this one in the city center. You see the storyline now. And today, I mean, she's old now, but at least she has 3 different properties, and she's getting rent from the rest. She's already a retiree. Pension comes once in a while, sometimes it doesn't come. But she has those little token coming in, and she's not a burden to any of her children. Whether the children send her money or not, she's able to feed herself. How many of you think that is a good move? Type good move, good move, good move. Everybody, talk to me. Type good move. If you think this story, what my auntie did, is a good move, type good move. I need response, guys. Some of you are looking at me and see. Okay? For those of you just joining us, my name is Stephen Akintayo. I'm Africa's most sought after investment coach. I'm a serial entrepreneur. And today I'm sharing with you a powerful title, which is basically how to become a self-made millionaire through real estate investment. How to become a real estate millionaire through real estate investment. If you have gotten value so far, can you type I got value? I'm going to number 3. If you're ready for number 3, can you type I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready? Talk to me. If you are ready for number 3, type I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Okay, I like a very interactive class for those of you just joining us. I also like you to do me a favor, share this video 50 times. Yes, you heard me. Click on your right, you will see Facebook party. Click on it and invite all your friends to watch this broadcast right now. I also like you to, secondly, copy this link, paste it on all your Facebook group, paste it on all your WhatsApp group, paste it on all your LinkedIn groups. They always tell me that good information does not sell on social media. It is rubbish that sells on social media. But you see, the fact that we like rubbish is also the reason why our country is looking like a rubbish. And our life sometimes looks that way. Even those of us in diaspora. Because we are not investing in quality information. If they tell you that somebody, was shot dead somewhere now, everybody will share that video. If they tell you that there's one evil happening somewhere, you share that video. If they tell you somebody scam somebody, that's the bad news you share. The day they are teaching you how to turn your life around, you are not interested. And so we get to begin to ask funny questions like, why is it that Africans are poor? Why is it that we are struggling? It's because of our value system. Until we change our value system, where we value good information, where we share good information, where we promote good information than bad information, we won't go far. So this is how many of you agree this is a good information? Okay, if this is a good information, share it 50 times. On your right hand side, you see that Facebook party icon. Click on it, invite your friend. It won't cost you anything to do good. It won't cost you anything to do good to your friend, to help your friend hear good news. At least if the friend has been a negative friend before, he will learn to become positive, even from this video. So click on that Facebook party, invite your friends. Also share this video 50 times. Copy this link, paste it on WhatsApp, paste it on LinkedIn. Okay? Come on, guys, you guys are not talking to me. I said, are you ready for number 3? I've shared two things so far. Number 1, have a $1 million goal when it comes to real estate. Number 2, act on the goal with confidence and avoid negative friends. Act on your goals with confidence. In other words, don't be afraid to do the right thing. And I think that's one of the reasons why we fail in this part of the world. We're just afraid to do the right thing. You see, people are afraid. We rather look at it. I heard there's an artist that came to Nigeria. Her name is Cardi B. Okay? And that this artist had an event in a club, and they were charging people 5 million naira per person. And the video I saw on Instagram, the place was jam-packed. Literally, the place couldn't contain people. Where do people get 5 million naira to go to club? And yet, they can't buy a landed property with 5 million naira. And yet, they didn't call their family member to be asking questions when they were paying 5 million to go to a club. When they want to buy land now, you see them call everybody in their family. Are you sure? Am I safe? Should I buy? Should I not buy? Well, I just need your information. I just want to be sure. Why do we do that? If you want to bury your great-grandparents, that your burial will not bring them back, many of whom you didn't take care of them when they were alive. You don't ask any question to spend 5 million, 10 million to do their burial. When you want to do lavish wedding, that wedding is for one day, marriage is for a lifetime. In fact, many people, the genesis of many families, it was at their wedding. It was somebody who got angry that they didn't give them good food and started bewitching them. I don't know if you have heard stories like that. That it was the wedding that led to the problem of many people in their marriage. Because it was at that wedding that somebody got angry over food, got angry over they didn't greet her well, and then began to do evil to them. So when you look at why, sometimes I ask myself, why are we in this situation? It's just because of the way we are mentally wired, the way we position our mind. You go for a party and spend 5 million. I just couldn't understand it. 5 million naira for party, and the same you will come on social media and be saying some pastors are duping people, some pastors are collecting people's money, some pastors are fraudsters. As Cardi B now, okay, built a university that is affordable for poor people after paying her 5 million to listen to her. Okay, answer me. Type 1. Has she built a university for poor people now that you are giving her 5 million? I mean, it's just ridiculous the way we. It's ridiculous the way sometimes I just can't understand. Are you ready for number 3? If you're ready, type I'm ready. Come on, guys, what's going on? Why am I'm not seeing comments? Is there something going on with the network or what? I'm not seeing your comment, guys. Are you ready for number 3? If you're ready, type I'm ready. Okay, good. E2 is ready. So number 3, start by buying land or buy a house that you can rent out. Let me say this again. Start by buying land or buy a house you can rent out. You need to understand, and a lot of times people don't know this part that I'm sharing. You need to understand that your house that you live in is not an asset, is a liability. So oftentimes when your number 1 goal is I want to buy a house so that I can live. If you ask 99% of Nigerians now, come and buy land, they say, hey, can I build the house now? I want to build my house. I want to live in my house. And I just burst into laughter. Your goal should be to buy land. Why is land better than a house? Number 1, a land appreciates without it costing you any money. Do you see now? Meanwhile, the house that you build today, 10 years later is an old design. Okay? People will want something newer. That's why new houses are more expensive than old houses. Okay? Because the older the house, the lesser the value. Do you see what we're talking about now? So it's either you are buying a land or you are buying a house that you can rent out. A house that was built in a way that is easy for you to rent the house out to people. That is the structure that you should have. But I discourage much of buying houses to rent out in Nigeria, except you want to use it for Airbnb, what I call short lease, because the Nigerian tenancy law favors the tenant than the owner of the house. In other words, if your tenant does not pay your house rent, do you know that if you take it to court, your tenant has the right to remain in the house, sometimes for long, till the court decides. And in many cases, it takes a year plus, sometimes 2 years, before the court now give an eviction notice. So what often happens is that you end up buying a house, you rent it out, and then nobody is living in it. Or you rent it out, your tenants are not paying your rent. I remember I met this guy in Baltimore at a seminar I organized in Baltimore on real estate. I was invited by a church. So after the training, he told me he bought this particular house in Lekki, and it cost me a lot of money many years ago. This is not recently. He bought the house, not Lekki, around Ajah side. But he bought the house for, I think, 26 million naira before he left Nigeria fully. And his goal was that I was going to rent it out and I was going to start making some token from it while he was in the US. He said for the last 5 years, as at the time I met him, for the last 5 years, he has not been able to even get anybody to rent the house. The house is beginning to, you know when you leave a house without anybody living in it, the house start having problems. He said the house is already having challenges and all of that. And I told him, I said, you made a mistake. He said, how, sir? I said, you shouldn't have used that money to buy a house. He said, really? I said, yeah. I said, if you had bought a land without 26 million, I told him, I said, guaranteed, that 26 million cannot be less than 60 million right now, 5 years later. It cannot guaranteed. I know the funny thing with the 26 million house he bought, it wasn't even like it wasn't as if the house was on one plot. It was, all this where there are 3 flats in one complex. So he owns the one on top. So, if you build a house on your own land and you own the entire land, you have many times the house appreciates not because of the building but because of the land underneath it. But in his own case now, he doesn't own the land they built the house on alone. There are 3 people. So even the value of that property is not as high in appreciation like it should be. Are you getting value at all? Am I boring you or you are getting value? Guys, talk to me. Or it's beginning to sound complex and technical. Am I boring you or you are getting good value? Guys, talk to me. Are you getting good value or I'm boring you? If you are getting value, can you type I'm getting value? So number 3, start by buying a land or a house that you can rent out on a short lease using booking.com, Airbnb, so that people are like, but those kind of houses have to be in the city center. So they are quite expensive. So your best option for many people who don't have much bulk cash is to buy a land. So oftentimes when you hear us say, buy a land, people don't oftentimes understand. They don't even get the reason. You see, oftentimes, particularly in diaspora, a lot of people just, Mr. CV, you see me now, is a house I want to buy. People told me it's better because of a Omonile Wahala. And I said, today, you don't have to buy land from Omonile. Okay, Nigeria now has credible real estate companies that you can buy from. You just don't need to be greedy, because buying from a real estate company is more expensive than buying from Omonile. But if you buy from a credible company, your property is more secured. You can literally go to bed, your property is there. Okay, and it's just the truth. Number 4, become a broker, a property broker. Haven't bought your own property, also make money by selling those properties for those companies you bought from, or looking for properties you can sell. There's money in selling properties. There is money. I just sold a property for $92 million some months ago in Dubai. Okay, calculate my commission. Let's even say my commission is 2%. Or let's say my commission was 1%. Or let's say my commission is 5%. Don't ask me exactly how much was my commission. I'm not interested in telling you. Why must you know? Okay? Why? Why must you know? But whatever the commission is, even if it's 0.5%, 92 million naira is not small. You sell a property of 92 million naira, your commission is big. So you can make a lot of money by becoming a broker. So don't just buy, also sell. Make money from selling. Make money from selling properties, landed property, houses. You will get commission from 5% to 2% to 10%. Make money. You need to know that this is a whole new year. And you must have a clear-cut vision to have multiple streams of income. To be able to have a structure that guarantees a wonderful income for yourself. And it's very critical that you do that. Ladies, please, want to say thank you for watching. Feel free to follow me across social media handle at Stephen Akintayo on Instagram, Twitter, and on what? Instagram, Twitter, and on YouTube. Yeah. And then you can follow me at Stephen Akintayo TV on Facebook and on LinkedIn. So Facebook and LinkedIn, Stephen Akintayo TV, while on the other platform is at Stephen Akintayo. I love you all. Thank you for listening. I hope you got value. I appreciate you for watching. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful day. And don't forget tomorrow. Invite your friend tomorrow. We're going to have a great time looking at this topic. Remember, it's a 3-day topic. We'll continue tomorrow. Don't forget to be part of it. God bless you. Bye-bye.